Doctors have been telling seniors to slow down, take it easy, and accept weakness as part of aging. But what if that advice has been wrong all along? In this video, we're uncovering the truth about muscle loss after 60 and what you can do to stay strong, independent, and energized. Because it's not age that's making you weak. It's what you've been told to believe. Watch until the end. You might hear something that changes the way you see aging forever. Let's get started. And if you'd like to keep learning with me, go ahead and hit subscribe so you never miss a thing. Most people over 60 have heard the same message repeated in doctors' offices, on TV commercials, and even from well-meaning family members. Getting weaker is just part of getting older. You should slow down, take it easy, and avoid anything too strenuous. You've earned the right to rest. And yet, beneath this polite concern lies a dangerous message. The suggestion that weakness, fatigue, and frailty are just normal, something to be accepted rather than prevented. But what if this message isn't just misleading? What if it's a lie? Because the truth is, you are not destined to grow weaker just because you're growing older. Yes, your body changes, but the way we've been taught to respond to those changes is the real problem, and one that has robbed millions of seniors of their independence, their strength, and even their lives. Don't believing the lie. It's not aging that's making you weak, it's inactivity. Doctors even have a name for the age-related loss of muscle mass, sarcopenia. It's a natural condition that begins as early as your 30s and speeds up as you age, especially after 60. By the time many people reach 80, they've lost over half of their original muscle mass. But here's what most doctors never explain. It's not aging itself that causes this muscles loss. In truth, sarcopenia is largely driven by how we live as we age, not simply by the aging process itself. The less you move, the less your body maintains your muscle tissue. This process, called disuse atrophy, is your body's way of conserving energy. If you're not using your muscles, your body decides you don't need them and starts breaking them down. Think about what happens when a healthy 20-year-old person has their leg in a cast. Within weeks, that leg shrinks. Not because they're older, but because it wasn't used. The same principle applies to the entire body. When movement decreases, strength declines. And for older adults, that decline is often accelerated not by age, but by well-meaning restrictions. Doctors often advise older adults not to lift anything heavy. Family members, hoping to keep their loved ones safe, urge seniors to stop doing chores, yard work, or anything that might seem risky. The concern is real. No one wants to see a parent fall or struggle. But this kind of protection, however well-intentioned, can quietly chip away at confidence and independence. When strength isn't used, it's lost. When movement is avoided, the body forgets how to move. What begins as caution often ends in frailty. This mindset isn't just reinforced by loved ones and doctors, it's echoed throughout our culture. From advertisements to casual conversations, the message is clear. If you're over 60, it's time to take it easy, as if slowing down is the reward for surviving life. But all of that advice is contributing to muscle loss, not preventing it. This creates a vicious cycle, one that far too many seniors fall into, often without even realizing it. It usually begins like this. 1. You stop moving as much, either because of pain, fatigue, or fear of falling. 2. Your muscles start to shrink and weaken, a process called atrophy, which happens when muscles aren't being used regularly. 3. Everyday tasks get harder, like standing up from a chair, walking upstairs, or just doing light housework. 4. You begin avoiding activity altogether, thinking it's safer, but in reality it speeds up the decline. 5. Over time, your body forgets how to move confidently, and strength, balance, and independence all suffer. What's particularly insidious is how this decline is often rationalized away, like, well, that's just what happens when you get older. This acceptance prevents people from challenging the real cause and finding the real solution. Researchers have found that even previously sedentary 90-year-olds can increase their strength significantly with proper training. Your age is not the barrier. It's the mindset and habits that often accompany aging, the slow decline that no one notices until it's too late. When a person loses a bit of strength, it doesn't always feel urgent. At first, these seem like small inconveniences, but little by little, they chip away at independence. Someone who used to go for daily walks may start skipping them. Someone who enjoyed cooking may stop because they can't stand as long. At first, these changes seem small, almost unnoticeable, but over time, they build up and lead to bigger problems. Strength fades, balance worsens. The ability to react quickly disappears. The fear of falling creeps in. The fear is justified. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death in older adults. A hip fracture or a broken bone often leads to hospital stays, surgery, long-term rehabilitation, and for some, a loss of independence they never recover from. But before the body fails in a big way, it whispers. There are early warning signs, small, almost invisible struggles, that signal a gradual loss of strength. Many seniors miss the early warning signs of muscle loss because they happen gradually. Watch for these indicators that your strength might be declining. 1. You might need your arms to push up from a chair. 2. Standing on one leg becomes harder. 3. Carrying groceries takes more effort than it used to. 4. You might start avoiding stairs. 5. Take longer to bounce back from small tasks. 6. Opening a jar, can, or a package start to feel like a challenge. These seemingly minor challenges are your body's way of signaling that muscle strength is diminishing. They shouldn't be dismissed as normal aging, they're calls to action. Fatigue, weakness, and loss of balance aren't just signs of getting older, they're warning signs. And at the center of it all is one of the most overlooked keys to healthy aging: muscle. When people think of healthy aging, they often think of avoiding heart disease, diabetes, or memory loss. Rarely do we talk about muscle, but we should, because your muscle mass is one of the most powerful predictors of your future health. Muscle doesn't just help you lift things or walk, it does so much more. First, muscle supports your balance and coordination. Strong legs and core muscles help you stay upright, react to missteps, and avoid falls. This can be life-saving, as falls are the #1 cause of injury-related death in people over 65. Second, muscle controls your metabolism. The more lean muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. This helps regulate body weight and reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. Muscle also improves your body's ability to use insulin, making it easier to control blood sugar. Third, muscle helps build and protect your bones. Muscle pulls on bone when you move, stimulating new bone growth and increasing bone density. This helps prevent osteoporosis and reduces the risk of fractures. Fourth, muscle helps keep your immune system strong. It supports your body when you're sick or injured and helps fight off inflammation. This is especially important as the immune system weakens with age. And finally, there's one more surprising benefit. Strong muscles don't just help you move, they help your brain stay sharp. When you challenge your muscles, your brain gets a boost too. Blood flow increases, stress levels drop, and the brain responds by building better memory and focus. So no, muscle isn't just about appearance. It's about energy, mobility, clarity, and survival. One of the most remarkable benefits of maintaining muscle mass is its effect on your body's energy systems. Muscle keeps working for you, even when you are at rest. It helps your body burn more calories throughout the day, which can make it easier to maintain a healthy weight. Every pound of muscle you have helps your body burn more calories, even while you're resting. In fact, muscle can burn about 3 times more calories than fat does. So the more muscle you keep, the more active your body stays, even when you're just sitting or relaxing. So how do you protect and build muscle after 60? The answer isn't just walking or doing light cardio. While those activities are great for heart health, they don't provide the challenge your muscles need to stay strong. What your body truly needs is something called resistance training, sometimes called strength training. Means making your muscles work against a force. That simply means using your muscles to push or pull against something, like lifting light weights, using resistance bands, standing up and sitting down from a chair, or even lifting heavy household objects. These exercises challenge your muscles just enough to keep them strong and active, which improve mental clarity and even reduce the risk of cognitive decline as you age. Every time you do resistance training, you place small amounts of stress on your muscles. That stress signals your body to repair and rebuild, and in the process your muscles get stronger. This isn't just for bodybuilders or young athletes. In fact, studies show that older adults respond just as well, and sometimes even better, to resistance training. The body is still capable of growth. It's simply waiting for the right signals. And the good news is, a well-designed strength routine doesn't require hours in a gym. Just 30-minute sessions a week can rebuild your strength, improve balance, and boost your confidence. I know it might feel awkward at first, and that's okay. What matters most is that you're moving. Even a small effort is how strength begins to return. If you're ready to take the first step, here are a few simple exercises you can do right in your living room. 1. Standing up and sitting down from a chair repeatedly. 2. Step-ups using stairs or a small platform. 3. Wall push-ups. This is standing in front of a wall, placing your hands on it, and gently pushing your body in and out. It's like a regular push-up, but much easier on your joints. It helps build strength in your arms, chest, and shoulders without needing to get on the floor. 4. Bicep curls. This is holding light weights and lifting them toward your shoulders to build arm strength. You can do them sitting or standing. 5. Leg lifts and marches. This is done by raising one leg at a time while standing. This helps improve balance and strengthen your legs. One key principle that makes resistance training so effective is progressive overload, gradually increasing the challenge to your muscles over time. This doesn't necessarily mean lifting heavier weights. It could be done by following these 5 steps. 1. Adding one more repetition than last time. 2. Holding a position slightly longer. 3. Moving more slowly and with greater control. 4. Reducing rest time between exercises. 5. Adding a balance component to familiar movements. This progressive approach keeps your muscles adapting and growing stronger, regardless of your starting point. The human body responds to demands placed upon it. This fundamental biological principle doesn't change with age. Studies show that strength training can increase muscle by up to 5% and boost strength by 25 to 30%, even in people in their 80s and 90s. These gains make everyday tasks like standing, walking, and lifting much easier. Now you might be wondering, if strength training is so powerful, why didn't my doctor tell me? The answer is frustrating but understandable. Most medical appointments are short, focused on medications and lab tests, and geared toward fixing problems, not preventing them. Doctors are trained to diagnose and treat illness. They are not trained in exercise prescription or lifestyle counseling. Some may also believe that strength training is too risky for seniors, especially those with joint issues or chronic conditions. But here's what research has made clear. When done properly, strength training is not only safe for older adults, it's protective. It reduces fall risk, strengthens bones, and improves joint health. It even helps people with arthritis, Parkinson's, and other conditions move more comfortably. Unfortunately, the medical system doesn't profit from healthy, active seniors. Medications, surgeries, and long-term care are big business. Resistance training, proper nutrition, and daily movement don't come with a price tag. That's why you must take the lead in your own strength journey. However, many older adults still assume that if their doctor hasn't mentioned strength training, it must not be important. But that's not always true. In fact, many healthcare providers still rely on outdated information when it comes to exercise for older adults. Even well-meaning doctors may hold onto old beliefs that can hold seniors back. One common misconception is that high-intensity exercise is too dangerous for seniors. But when the intensity is adjusted properly, it's not only safe, it's incredibly beneficial. Another is that people with arthritis should avoid resistance training, but the truth is, the right kind of strength training can actually reduce joint pain and make daily movement easier. There's also a long-standing idea that rest is best for chronic conditions, but most studies show the opposite. Smart, gentle movement often leads to less pain and better health. And finally, many healthcare providers believe that it's too late to start if you've never exercised before. But research shows that even people in their 80s who were previously inactive can make impressive strength and mobility gains when they begin training. You might be thinking, where do I even begin? I understand that starting something new, especially later in life, can feel overwhelming. That's why talking to a doctor or physical therapist is often the first step. They can help you find a safe, personalized way to begin, but what if they don't take it seriously? If your healthcare provider dismisses your interest in strength training without offering alternatives, or referrals to qualified professionals, don't give up. Ask anyway. You can say, "Can you recommend someone who works with older adults?" Or, "What is a safe way for me to start building strength?" And if the answer is still unclear, it's okay to look elsewhere. A second opinion from a geriatric specialist or a physical therapist trained in senior fitness can make all the difference. The good news is, some forward-thinking medical practices are beginning to prescribe strength training alongside certain medications, recognizing its powerful effects on conditions from hypertension to depression to cognitive decline. Researchers has also shown that consuming protein within 30-60 minutes after resistance training enhances muscle repair and growth. For seniors, a protein-rich snack might include varied options such as a smoothie with Greek yogurt and berries, 15 to 20 grain protein, a hard-boiled egg and a piece of toast with nut butter, 12-15 g protein, a small can of tuna with whole grain crackers, 20-25 g protein, a glass of milk with a handful of nuts, 12-15 g protein. For vegetarians, meals like beans with rice, hummus with whole grain pita, or tofu paired with quinoa offer complete protein sources, delivering all the essential amino acids the body needs. These combinations not only provide essential protein, but also include fiber, healthy fats, and vitamins, supporting muscle maintenance, bone health, and energy levels throughout the day. Once you've moved your body and given it the right fuel, the next step is simple. Let your body rest, because muscles grow during rest, not during workouts. When you rest, your body repairs, rebuilding stronger, more resilient muscles. That's why sleep and recovery are so important. Most seniors need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to support physical repair, hormonal balance, and mental clarity. Poor sleep isn't just tiring, it can actively interfere with muscle growth, immunity, and healing. Recovery isn't laziness, it's part of the process. Your body needs rest to rebuild what you're working so hard to create. Several other factors affect how well your body heals and gets stronger, and two of the biggest are hydration and inflammation. First, hydration. Water plays a role in almost every process your body uses to repair muscles, yet many older adults don't drink enough and end up chronically dehydrated, which can slow recovery and cause muscle cramps. A good goal is at least 8 glasses of water a day, and even more if you're exercising regularly. Then there's inflammation. Some inflammation is a normal part of muscle repair, but when it becomes chronic, it can get in the way. The good news? You can help manage inflammation naturally with the right foods. Fatty fish like salmon, berries, leafy greens, and turmeric are all powerful natural ways to support healing. Remember, recovery needs increase with age. While younger people might train 4 or 5 days a week, most older adults get the best results with just 2 to 3 focused sessions, giving the body time to rest and recover in between sessions. That's good news, because it means strength isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently. Maybe you've heard pieces of this before, but this time, you've seen what's possible. And maybe, for the first time in a while, you feel ready. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Here's how to begin. 1. Start small, but start today. Even 10 minutes of gentle bodyweight exercises or walking can activate your muscles. 2. Make it consistent. Set a goal to move with purpose at least 3 days a week. Write it down. Track your progress. Celebrate your consistency, not perfection. The best strength program is the one you'll actually do consistently. Rather than chasing the perfect workout, focus on creating one that fits into your real life. Start with the time of day. Plan your strength exercises when you feel most alert and energized, whether that's in the morning, afternoon, or even after a nap. And finally, consider adding a social element. Whether it's walking with a friend, joining a small class, or checking in with someone over the phone, having support keeps you motivated. When you create a routine that works with your life, you're far more likely to stick with it. And that's where real progress begins. Try different forms of resistance training, from bands to light weights to water-based exercises, until you find something that makes you feel good in your body. Because the more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to keep going. And that's where real strength begins. Remember that consistency trumps intensity, especially when beginning. 2 moderate sessions completed every week will provide far greater benefits than one exhausting workout followed by weeks of recovery. You're stronger than you've been told. The problem isn't your age. It's the lie you've been told about what aging should look like. You've been taught to slow down when you should be encouraged to move. You've been told weakness is normal when it's not. You've been offered pills when you needed purpose, but now you know. You've been offered pills when you needed purpose, but now you know better. Strength is not reserved for the young. It is available to you right now through movement, protein, rest, and belief. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be young. You just need to begin. Because strength doesn't start in your muscles. It starts in your mind. So take that first step. Your future self will thank you.